Okay, hi, welcome back to Spirit Lounge again, and to the next installment of the Samyutta Nikaya. And we're going through another couple of Samyuttas today, and there's going to be a whole combination of them today because this presentation contains quite a few because I took extracts out of many of them. So we'll go straight into it without further delay. Okay, so we are going into the Samyutta Nikaya, as we mentioned before, which is one of 5 different sections of the Sutta Pitaka containing the dhamma, the teachings of Buddha. These are the 5: the Brahmana-Vangisa-Vana-Takkha-Saka Samyutta. Okay, so we know that the Samyutta Nikaya is the joined related sermons and discourses of Buddha and some of the disciples that I branched off as well. And the sutta is the teaching of the dhamma, continues the 5 collections as we mentioned. This is the 3 of 5 have already published the Digha and the Majjhima. And we'll go straight into this. Okay, so the Brahmana Samyutta, the Arahanta Vagga within the Samyutta. Buddha refused to accept Bodhidharma anger. Thus Bodhidharma remained in possession of his anger. On controlling anger for one's own benefit and for the benefit of others. The parable of the owner of the refused gift, explaining a rejected gift belongs to the giver. On mildness and peacefulness and the true road in success. The parable of writing the upside down thing. On evil thoughts harming those who harbour such thoughts. So what's the parable of writing the upside down thing? Well, this is upside down thing can be the ignorance, right? Of writing our ignorance of the true nature of ourselves, right? And the refused gift belongs to the giver. Well, the person who holds the anger owns the anger. On the evil thoughts harnessing those who harbour such thoughts, not causing harm through action, through words or through thought. Remember, actions, words, thoughts and intentions and mind. This is what must be managed. Mindfulness of those things. And what makes a true Brahmin is effort cultivating the Buddha's novel path. Is not through lucky birth, as we've repeated many times. On the ineffectiveness of incantations and chanting and food offerings, ritual, ceremony, and also cultic, far-left godlessness practices. On the noble path as the only path to purity. A true Brahmin has right conduct rather than a person's social station at birth. On happiness, on the Buddha's happiness with a lack of possession and attachments. Very good short passage. Okay, the Upsaka Vagga. Error of asking a follower of the Buddha to work for their food. On the parable of the farmer and the fruit of Nibbana, which is enlightenment. Explaining faith equals seas. Controls equals rain. Yoke and plough equals wisdom. Shame equals the pole. The plough is guided by the reins of the minds. What does this mean? Faith equals sees. Well, if you have faith and persistence in your each spiritual practice, you will be able to start seeing through the eyes of grace. You control within that. Are you persistence, mindfulness, meditation, seeking equals rain. Rain for me is the continuation and opening and the opening of the book of knowing and the pages, raining knowledge from within to without, expansion of consciousness of perception, removing of tendencies and paradigms that lock us here. The yoke and plough equals wisdom, gaining wisdom through the trinity of the mind, the soul, the heart, and the integration of all into spirit. Shame equals the pole being that which is shafted into the ground of the material, you're guided by it. The plough is guided by the reins of the mind. The plough blade is mindfulness. To be consistently generous. On giving to the truly holy. As the most effective way to make merit. Well, I think just generosity and giving where it's possible for you and supportable is a way of merit, not just to what people who deem themselves enlightened and those you deem enlightened doesn't make it more meritful. Giving is just giving. On the uselessness of pride and hard-heartedness. On the deserving reverence parents, siblings, teachers, and those who have become quiet, i.e. extinguished passion. On how the impure mind prevents understanding of truth. How the impure mind prevents the understanding of truth. On the false virtue of worldly preoccupation with occupation. So in other words, that for me would mean preoccupation with just evolving and absorbing in work is all that you are. Work, home, and not involving in any other preoccupation other than that is supporting the material realm, or the life in the material matter. On the root of the Buddha's quietness is the rootlessness. He has no root, i.e. no foundation or no attachment to this realm. On the achievements of the Buddha and his followers. On the achievements of the Buddha, freedom from doubt, freedom from desire, freedom from greed, freedom from need to engage in worldly doings, right view and enlightenment. On right livelihood and proper behavior towards parents. On quietness and righteousness. On extinguishing ill will, ignorance and greed through right speech. The Vangisa Samyutta. On the poetry of monk Vangisa. On controlling the mind. On rejecting and extinguishing lustful thoughts. On repulsiveness meditation, which is foulness meditation, loathing meditation, disgustingness meditation. You can go into silence and quiet mind and just have thoughts that are not divine going through them. On sparking words that do not hurt others or require remorse and which conduce towards the end of suffering. Vana Samyutta. On taming the unruly mind and purifying it of worldly thoughts. Benefit of being faithful to your spiritual practice. On the foolishness of advising or keeping the company of fools or animals. On the importance of not neglect. Now, I just want to touch on this animals thing. In my journey, I can only tell you one thing that I've perceived. Is your movement through spirituality can and may, for many, remove the need for your seeking companionship or needing it from others, be that human or pet or animal. That doesn't mean you won't have a love and you like them not for companionship because you just love animals. But there's not going to be any desire for companion. You're not going to feel lonely, and you're going to fill that void of childlessness or companionshipness or lack of someone around you because you have an animal and you treat it like a baby, you treat it like a human being. This is attachment for the need for another to fulfill a gap that one has. Your spiritual practice will remove this. And this is where it says company of fools, obviously, but animals, the need to have other physical form around you to fill a gap. For companionship to need, for something to you to give love to, something to give love to you. This is not something that you're going to need or feel there's a gap, because the divine will fill. You fill thyself through the divine force. There is no companionship because there is no loneliness within the soul or the heart because you're surrounded with grace. You are happy within yourself to be with yourself. To be alone is okay. In fact, you're more comfortable alone than with others because it gives you more time for silence and peace, contentment, mindfulness and contemplation. This is the reality of it. This is what this really means. On the importance of not neglecting one's own welfare for the sake of others. On maintaining good associations. This is true. You don't just give mindlessly where it's putting yourself into jeopardy. On a monk's need to resist worldly temptations and control desires for the life of the householder, the householder. On progress towards passionlessness, this would be towards the material realm, desire. On the notion that those that live a holy life are followers of the Buddha or any other, I would say followers of thyself, their own teachings, their own church. This is what you need to be going. Don't sit and stand on the stone of another. Learn what you need to learn and move on. The rest are lost. This is not true because obviously there are many pebbles and stones that you will cross. It's not loss, it's just journey. On extinguishing sense pleasures. On indulging in the scent of the white lotus being the equivalent of plucking it. It is not a meritorious action, for all sense pleasure should be renounced. Well, there is the material realm in which we're here we experience also. So there is pleasure in that material realm. It depends what desire and attachment you have with it, and what it is you're seeking as desires. The Taka Samyutta. On the vain threat made to the Buddha by a non-human being. I wonder what this is. On mastering desire as the way to cross the flood being ignorance, of suffering and attain nibbana. On mindfulness leading to happiness, but not extinguishing of anger. On the diligent cultivation of loving kindness as a way to extinguish anger. On the eagerness of non-human but sentient being to follow the teachings of the Buddha and find release from suffering. This is obviously some spiritual and esoteric experience. Saka Samyutta. On enduring abuse with forbearance, patience and calm. On not responding to anger with anger. Now, I don't agree with this. This is not regarding to violence or how Gandhi, non-violent disobedience had a big influence on the removal of the British Empire from India. But also, you must stand and speak where wise against that which is causing harm and oppression to the self and to others. This world is a physical realm. You're in a physical body with arms, legs, senses and mind. It is also a realm of action. Sitting around doing kumbaya and thinking happy thoughts does not change the world. Those things change you, which therefore then change your interaction with the world and of the world. And this will also mean action, words, thoughts and intentions change too. So there is a reciprocal movement of action in the world to change things. Where it's in your resonance and where it matches your actions, words and intentions that are wise to you. On the roots of fear, slandering and lying, blaming and accusing, disloyalty, deceitfulness and betraying, and ingratitude and ungratefulness. On acting honourably towards all, even enemies, not forgetting and not holding their burden. You can act honourably. This just means don't hold what others want you to hold, the energy and frequency in which they cascade out that they wish you to hold. Don't hold them. Okay, the Dutiya Vagga, Vatapada Sutta, on the 7 precepts of Saka, the king of the 33 gods. Caring for parents, respecting the elder brother, gentle speech, not engaging in mudslinging, keeping a peaceful mind, well disposed toward generosity, true speech, freedom, ill will and anger. Freedom from ill will and anger, on the mission of the Buddha, to lead, to wander, to teach. On why the Buddha teaches, because there will come who understand. The Teyavagga, on anger, on how anger hurts the angry, on how controlling anger benefits all, on how the use of magic results in rebirth into hell. Well, this is talking about the occultic. This is talking about the dark channels of godlessness. On 2 types of foolish men, those who are oblivious to their sin and those who do not forgive when the Buddha's teachings teaches forgiveness. On the 2 types of wise men, those who recognize their sin and those who pardon in accordance with the Buddha's teachings. Okay, and that's the end of this passage and this chapter in our series. I'll ask you to again, transformation is yourself. The second coming will always be you. We've been given all the teachings we need. There's no saviour coming to save us. This world will change through our own volition and through our own actions, word, thoughts and intentions and mind, changing our garment of soul. Change your garment of soul. Change your garment of soul. Okay, so I want to say thank you to all for again listening to this video and watching it on the recording, and those who pop in and out live. I can see 1 or 2 coming in, dropping off. I hope that's not a negative sign. But enjoy. Let me know what you think, if it's helping you. Your feedback is important to me, so I understand that this channel is of purpose. I will continue doing it because it's of my own divine purpose here. So whether someone watches these or not, it doesn't matter. What I do say is this channel will have videos that will go on into perpetuity. These videos are not anything I create on this channel will go on forever, because for me, in my knowing, the teachings are true, and they will cascade humanity through generations and eons, because it's divine truth. It's not my truth, it's not my ego, it's not coming from my mind, it's not coming from myself, it's been coming through my own spiritual journey, my connection to the divine, who I surrender myself to. I have complete authority over myself, but the divine is my source. And so what I try to do on this channel is create what will go on in perpetuity. It isn't just something of the day that is here and fleeting and gone tomorrow. They will persist. They will persist as long as, I suppose, the interweb allows them to persist. Okay, thank you so much for listening. I truly appreciate it. I want to say thank you to you all. God bless, and keep well. Till next time.